And day of 5 begins on this lovely land, and it seems that the lands are a lot less quiet, for my voice was restored, for it was temporarily slain by a beast we shall only call El Gato. For you see, whenever El Gato is activated, it messes with my voice, it messes with my settings. Or if you want to be a bit more metagame, bloody El Gato decided to switch off my microphone because, well, it likes to interfere with the settings of programs it should not be interfering with, but back to the poetry side of things. I apologise that my upper voice suddenly came out. The brash side of me, the part of me that likes to get angry at fantasy. What is going on, my friends? What is happening in these lands? Well, we have been sunk, submerged. We are just... We're not even sunk or submerged, actually. We are just existing. We are barely getting along. For you see, our boat was once more wrecked upon these lands. However, these lands come across as far more hostile and far more barren. Yes, the woods may be aplenty, but the hunt is not. There is not enough coin for us to harvest from these lands. I'm doing what I can to expand, but as you can see, we are dealing with roving bands of monsters who now attack from both sides. They attack from the east as well as the west, so I am now trying to establish defences across all these lands to make sure we can counter them. However, these defences must be established equilaterally or equal. We must make sure that what we build on one side is constructed on the other in order to ensure that we can have the best defences. For there is no point in building in one half when we can't build on the other. And yet it seems this rock is not available for me to construct on, but perhaps with the removal of this tree that will become a reality. But I must also make sure to factor in the construction of my boat, for you see we must make sure it floats once more so it can escape these lands and maybe take me somewhere a little nicer, a little less hostile, one that is not plagued by monsters every night, for now the night of 5 is about to begin, and I suspect a blood moon is going to occur. Well, they do like to appear every now and then, and usually, my astronomers calculate, it is usually on every 5th night it appears. Yet, this night seems serene, it seems most quiet. And I see a nice little white haze in the background. A clear moon rises tonight. So that may keep us safe for a little longer, however, it will not prolong death forever. I suspect tomorrow the blood moon shall rise and grace the skies with its ill presence. We must make preparations to ensure the defences are adequate, and we must also try and ensure that we can begin to expand. I feel that we may need to expand our camp once more so we can begin hiring a man who can create a farm. If we were to harvest these lands and make sure we could gather some gold just from growing some plants, then our life may be a bit easier. But it seems for now that we are somewhat safe, so we shall make sure we take advantage and be thankful for our lives which have been gifted to us once more. So the moon sets, the sun rises, and the day of 6 shall begin. I shall take my limited coin that I gained from my trader and ensure that we continue our construction. So, my first task of the day, I wish for that tree to be fell, and then my second decree is that we expand the base once more. We clearly need to establish a farm, and we need someone who can bring in some crops. And now we can recruit one. That is going to be most useful to me. So perhaps the crops shall grow to the west. That would be the place that is best. I see a shovel built in the ground, so perhaps that is where we shall construct. Perhaps if we were to incorporate the trader into my lands, that would also be of use. Now, fair builder, who fell the tree? For usually they return the coin to me. But it seems that today that is not the case. Which is very, very strange, for usually I expect the coin to return to me upon this. It also seems that the trader's house has now disappeared. I do hope that I have not just removed him from his home. A forcible eviction would not be doing me any good. Perhaps now I have just ruined everything forever. We shall observe as we enter the day of 7, Hopefully he has another place to live. But then again, net expansion in the west is most necessary. For if there are 2 portals and 2 angles of attack, we must make sure we are prepared to beat them all back. So I do apologise, my trading friend, if I have just evicted you from your house, but it was something that had to happen. Otherwise we would be caught like a little mouse. Still the sky passes. Everything seems bleak. The atmosphere seems steely grey. And yet there is still nothing for us to hunt. There is the undead horse that perhaps I could coax, but what would it do? What benefits could it bring? No, I need to rebuild this boat. I need to make sure it will float. But I just do not understand what we can do. But finally a rabbit is hunted. However, it was only just for one, so that didn't do me any good. I also heard a very strange noise. A very dull noise, but still. One that will now bring me some concern. It is coming. The red moon rises, and this is bringing with it its wrath. It's going to put us to the test. It's going to throw many monsters at us. And they won't just attack from one angle, my friend. They shall attack from 2. Builder, quickly establish a quick defense. Make sure we can keep at least some monsters away for a little longer. We shall prolong our death for as long as we can. However, today, I do not feel prepared. These lands have been barren. These lands have not been kind. Oh, I sense death is going to be upon us. Its cold grip is going to embrace this camp. We have really been damned upon our shipwreck. And it doesn't just rise as a red moon. This is redder than we've ever seen. It's redder than the darkest drops of blood. They choose to assault this wall. They are not in huge quantity, I admit, but it's still a concern as they take 2 of my archers and they steal our goods. They steal our bows. That shall cost coin for us to replace. And the number of our troops is not enough for us to carry on. Our civilians will try to retreat, however, they are piling upon the walls. And I do not have enough coin to purchase an additional bow. They're going to come, they are going to pillage, they're going to pilfer. They will knock back our progression very, very far. However, it looks like perhaps we may make it. The wall has fallen, but we did manage to pull through in the end. However, we must fully rebuild this wall. We have lost too much progress within this one night. We are going to be in for quite a fight. And now the trader departs without even payment. It is as I feared. He has chosen to abandon us. We must now find a way to make our own cash. However, how is that even going to happen? Can we make it even arise in a flash? We must construct on this farm. We must make sure it is ready. However, I feel like at this point, I have played myself. I have ruined everything. I have cursed this land. I have damned this land. I shall erect what I can and build whatever I can. I shall even need to recruit an additional archer to replace those who have died, but my men, unless we have a successful hunt, unless we do something, or even the simplest of blessings, I feel that we may be at an end. And the irony is, we shall die on a day that is peaceful, a day that is beautiful. What more can we do to rescue ourselves? We need to bridge this dam, we need to bridge this river. Yet I do not know what to do anymore. We have nowhere to establish a farm. We must establish a farm, we must build a mill. We must raise crops, we must raise money. Without money, what can we do? I do not mean that in a greedy sense. I do not mean that man without money is a man who is worthless. Though that may be quite the oxymoron or paradigm. No, what I do mean is, without money, this kingdom cannot function. It is the literal lifeblood of these lands. All these men cannot function without these little pieces of gold. So, if we have run out, then I fear our luck and our lifespan may be about to expire. I mean, I shall fell these trees, I shall fell them all, but it seems I do not have an option for constructing a farm. Just a place where I can harvest some crops and just grow my lands. I shall take down as many of these forests as possible and clear some land, but it seems that it's something that is not possible. We shall fell this last tree as well before night has fallen, for soon the moon will rise and then it will bring us with even more challenges. But it seems we are beginning to turn a slight profit from clearing these trees as well, so perhaps I have been pessimistic. Perhaps there is a way for us to reverse our fate. But even then, it's on a very close thing. Still, she'll construct an additional wall to make sure that we do not fall. But it seems my plan of equilateral defense that is equal and can stand on its own, is going to be something that will be bemoaned. So spend 2 more coins as well acquiring an additional archer. My men at least do seek work, but they only seek work when there is coin involved. I also see a little rabbit. Archer! Please. I know it is cruel to kill the innocent, but please fell that little creature, for we need its coin. Its pelts will be worth enough money to establish something for me to use. So it seems this night has actually passed without incident. Perhaps there is some sort of mercy in these lands. But even then, what mercy is there for a land that is going to fall? Please, allow the next day to begin now, my friend. Allow the day of 8 to commence. For we may be able to fight back, we may be able to expand, we may be able to reverse our fate. If we can turn a profit from killing these trees, then it would work. But even then, is it right to murder these trees? Is it right to fell these great oaks, or these boughs of oak? The oak is a tree that has never been heard of, but perhaps it exists somewhere near that strange haunted house. Either way, we must continue our development plans. We must make sure these trees fall. For yes, they may have once stood tall, but we need to dam this river. We need to build a farm. Whatever we've done, I suspect we have just sealed our own fate. However, we have managed to turn our first coin of profit, but it is not enough. This is a process that is slow, sluggish, and not quite efficient. Perhaps if we were to destroy this bridge, fell the bridge, make sure it was no more, perhaps then we could even try to increase our survivability a little bit more. But even then, I suspect that will not happen. There is very little hope for us now. I just down my final 2 coins. With 1 more coin now, perhaps I could build a farm. However, incorporating it into my lands is going to be quite of a challenge. Perhaps if we fell some trees to the west, where they are quite close to my base, we may be able to do something useful. Or perhaps one of my archers, he had managed to accomplish something on his hunt. So, with this, I shall establish the farm, for we need to make sure we have a form of revenue. Otherwise, the avenue I face is one of darkness and death. I feel like I have just cast these lands to their fate. They shall be eliminated before it is very late. My fellow builder, please construct something here. Ensure that we can just establish a defense. And then, I know I have just sacrificed my final coin, but with a wall here, I can establish a farm and perhaps buy it some time for crops to grow. Maybe it isn't all over yet, however I do feel that we are clutching at straws. So the moon now prepares to rise. And it will cost us a mighty 8 coins just to build this farm. I fear this kingdom is going to fall before it can rise. And even then, did this kingdom even rise? Born into poverty? Born into a land where we were attacked from all sides? No. This kingdom was never born. It was killed before it could even rise. It was murdered before it even had a chance. The cruel hand of death just came and took it one night. Now I see the moon rising in the sky at a speed that is most concerning. Still, these 2 coins I hold will now be used while I am tempted to recruit Yet another archer. No. What I need to do is I need to ensure that this wall does not fall. However, the monsters are becoming more and more numerous. They shall not wait for me to secure this stream of revenue. They shall just wait until they have taken the crown. That is all they care about. They've just eliminated my troops. They've seen that they all died. Now those 2 coins I hold may be needed to build for some reinforcements, and I cannot even repair that wall. We are going to fall, my friends. I do see it now. But perhaps we should just see how long we can prolong fate. Fate is approaching very, very rapidly. Even our defences on this side did not last very long. Still, kind citizen who just donated me 2 coins. Take those coins and become an archer. Perhaps you'll be able to save us for a little longer. Now we must work even harder. At least there is some sense of justice in the world. More and more rabbits are beginning to appear, so perhaps if my archers do take the initiative and go for a hunt, we may be able to make our life a little safer, a little easier, if you may. But I still also find myself curious. I see ruins in the background, ruins from a kingdom long past. I wonder if they met the same fate that we now face. A fate in which we have been cast into being barren, into fate that is known as death. I just do not understand what will happen to us in the future. I can continue to establish these shoddy defences and make sure they last for as long as possible, and I harvest the coins my archer is very diligently producing me. And while I will not have enough to produce an additional new farm, or perhaps I will now. I sense I'm getting close to holding 8 of these precious little jewels. If I have enough to establish a farm, then we are making progress. But even then, the next blood moon is due very soon. It will be a very close race, a close one indeed. I do find myself 2 coins short of where I need to be. We can find an additional 2 coins. We will be able to construct that farm. But where can I find them? What about the coins I already hold? They may be used for something else. They may be needed for replacing a fallen comrade or replacing a wall that was destroyed. I feel I'm getting stressed. I'm getting worried. And I am also becoming concerned at my archer's lack of competence as well. Come, my archer. You can fire better than that. Shoot your archers. Shoot your arrows. Shoot them straight and true. Kill the enemies through and through. There we go. Now harvest me an additional coin. There we go. Thank you very much. We may now be able to recruit a farmer, or at least construct a farm. Either way, we do not have enough coin to construct the boat, but I do have enough coins to recruit 1 more archer. So there, peasant, take your bow. I'm prepared to hold out for this additional night. We will be able to construct our farm tomorrow. However, we will still need to raise for funds to hire a farmer. But then if we can make sure he is defended, we may be able to recover from our economic low point. However it stands, it will be tight. There is going to be a very bloody fight. We shall do what we can. That is all we can do. We'll make sure we do stand, and we do not fall. I carry the lives of these men on my shoulders. I'll make sure they do not find themselves under a pile of boulders that I will have to use to make mock gravestones. But even then, it does make me frown that perhaps one day I will lose the crown. Perhaps to mortality or to these beasts. Either way, they are putting up more of a fight tonight. That wall will fall. It doesn't have a chance. I shall retreat to this half now, for I know that they are coming. And they even kidnapped one of my bows. That's 2 more coins I must spend to replace that item now. Still, the beasts have retreated for now. But where do I find myself standing now? I need to build that farm, but I need to repair the defences. Woe be to the man who has to take us through the day of 10. And the day of 10 you shall see next time, my friends. For I shall construct this farm now and leave myself penniless. But that is my next goal. Upon my lovely foal, I shall raise my coins to recruit a farmer to make sure he is safe. We are not in a fun situation, my friends, but then again, survival is not about fun. It's about ensuring that my men do not die, but even then, I think from this kingdom, it is goodbye.